oh boy, do I have a siege battle for you guys today. Thrones of Britannia has provided us with some amazing battles over the past couple weeks, but I think this one is going to top the pile. I mean, just look at this fortress that the defenders currently have. It looks absolutely awesome in this open valley with farms everywhere, which makes the village actually seem believable that, you know, this is how this city survived, and the city itself is just covered in streets and houses and backyards, which I'm sure the Vikings will be defending every single inch as we make our way in closer to the final stand right here. I mean, it's just stuff like this that makes me love Total War. Huge battles with over 20,000 soldiers, or just under 20,000 soldiers, on such an awesome looking siege map. I mean, this battle isn't exactly very, complex. There's only two walls, really. There's really only one outer wall, realistically, but it's just the way they've crafted it have made these Thrones of Britannia battles so goddamn exciting. So sit down, make sure you're comfortable, and prepare yourself for a long siege battle. I will cut out any boring bits, but I'm hoping this one will just be exciting the entire way through. As we can see, the current defenders have around about 8,000 men as the artillery comes in from the attackers. So they're going to be scattered with other, infantry, lots of Viking warriors, heavy elite berserkers, as well as these weaker infantrymen as well. And the attackers are going to be mustering the same similar stuff. I believe we actually have one Eastern Viking army as well making their way forward. So yeah, I'm definitely very much looking forward to this battle. If you guys are as well, be sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the battle in the comments. And I think there's still a bunch more Thrones of Britannia siege maps we are yet to see. So if you guys want to keep on seeing them, let me know as well in the comments down below. So the battering ram is making its way up. Going to go ahead and start hammering down the defenders as quickly as possible. As soon as you take these towers out, the better. And I love what the attackers are doing, attacking basically at every single position they can, really stretching the defenders as wide as possible. And this is going to be pretty big. This also looks amazing as well. They have a really cool kind of this is the tactic, the opposite of the tactic I used to do in Rome Total War 1. We used to form this kind of formation with pikes, but the other way around. So the siege towers, the walls have been breached, but it looks like the defenders are simply looking to defend the towers, giving up initially the defense of these walls. And I think that's going to be for the better, because there are just far too many siege towers for them to protect this entire wall. So it makes a lot more sense if they're looking to just simply go ahead and counter assault as they charge in. And here we go, some more men moving in. So yeah, there's like a Viking force on either side of the battle, and then we have some of these Scotsmen right here. And I'm not sure what this green faction is, honestly. We're using radius. It could be Irish, but I'm just saying that because they're green, so maybe they're not. Actually, they have some armor on, something sigiled on their chest. If I could see that, I could probably tell. It looks kind of Vikingish though. I honestly don't know, because we're using radius mod. I didn't pay attention to what this faction was in the beginning of the battle, because I am a pro YouTuber. So as you can see, more of the Scotsmen are making their way over to this right-hand side. The centre has also been completely smashed open, as the infantry is going to be trying to break through here. However, they are going to be getting hammered by these towers indeed. But also, the flag is going down, so it seems like the attackers are slowly starting to take this gatehouse. And if they can take this gatehouse, that's going to be huge, because these arrow towers do rack up a couple hundred kills here and there if they're left alone. So definitely something you want to be paying attention to. The city is already burning, and that's something I love to see. Especially with a city like this, we're going to see a lot of the city being destroyed, because this does start to rack up. The first time I saw the settlement damage, I was like, that's a bit underwhelming. But when you really look at it, the lower tier units, if this settlement damage gets above 50%, the low tier units are going to be doing no damage whatsoever. So that's why it's really important to go ahead and set fire to the city as you go through. And especially something as kind of condensed as this, we're going to see a lot of burning. That is for sure. Got some nice javelin men up here, and they're going to be aiding off in the assault. Obviously using these javelins to hammer the defenders. A few of them going off right there. We have a unit of berserkers being charged in, and actually a unit of infantry being brought out. The Eastern warriors are being retreated. And berserkers being thrown in. Obviously some pretty deadly units. Doing some serious damage right there. But this is also a really nice move here by the defenders, bringing their javelin men round the side to get a brutal volley This guy has a goddamn javelin through his head and he's still killing him. Look at him. He's punching that dude on the ground. Brutal stuff, man. What a glorious battle. We also have some Albion Axemen as well. Oh, no, just some Eastern Huskers even. Sorry, I thought they were the Scottish Axemen. So the attackers are going to be having to commit more men. They've got their artillery up here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a breach or two being created actually in the walls. They go ahead and assist that. I mean, you can see this wall has been absolutely bombarded. Where's the rest of the artillery, though? Is the wall just not being destroyed? Oh, I think the artillery ran out of ammunition, which is kind of a bit lame that you need 2 artillery pieces to destroy this. That actually really sucks. I mean, it looks cool, though. Looking at the wall, it looks like it has been bombarded for ages. And we can continue on here to look at the progression of the attackers as they slowly try and make their way onto the walls. The defenders, though, putting up a very strong fight. These Axemen are not going to be giving up lightly. That breach point would have been so nice to create. I feel really bad for the attackers, because creating that breach point, they could have thrown forward so much more infantry. And even though there are plenty more infantrymen to throw in by the defenders, it would have been nice to, you know, be able to actually just make a little bit of progress. Because it seems like the defenders are doing a great job at just kind of funneling in the attackers. Even though there are so many siege towers everywhere, they're doing an amazing job at just surrounding these choke points and keeping the enemy at bay. So what tends to happen in these siege battles as well is that the defenders end up getting 25% less money in the battle. So what ends up happening most of the time is just the quality of the attackers end up just grinding through the defenders because they just don't have enough funds to allow them to just keep every single one of these defensive points. Eventually they will have to fall back, and I think we're actually already seeing it. Yes, we are already seeing it right here. Oh no, actually no, just these Axemen are just coming in here to help out. The gates are going down, and once these towers get destroyed, it's going to be very, very important. Because these towers have probably already killed, you know, 50 to 60 to 70 men, probably a unit by themselves. For a second, but I thought these Vikings were the ones attacking and rear charging. These guys have gone berserk though, so if they could get this infantry up on here, they could really look to try and reinforce elsewhere. But the defenders also have plenty of men here, so maybe not as effective. And here we go, the towers are about to be secured by the attackers. I think I just saw someone's head go rolling off there. We still have some arrows coming off, I think, from someone throwing them. More reinforcements being brought up as well. Our flag is about to be risen up as high as possible. There we go. Yeah, the towers are going down, at least on this side. More heavy fighting as well on the right-hand side of the fortress. I guess we can take a little look up here. I mean, just look how awesome that looks, man. It's so cool. And it's such a simple... That's why I don't buy in Warhammer. How they're like, oh, the AI just can't handle sieges. It just seems like they just didn't want to put, like, time and effort into making good siege maps. Because if they were going to do siege maps, they'd have to either go really hard on them and make them amazing, or do what they did. I don't think there was any in-between ground. And they just decided to go with the latter, unfortunately. Because, I mean, this is literally one wall, except this isn't a super exciting fortress, you know? I don't think the AI has too much trouble on this either, like... That's why I don't buy the whole Warhammer 2 thing. I think it's just, they just decided to put the funding elsewhere, you know? Because they could have done them, I don't think they would have done them as amazing as people would have wanted them, so they just decided not to bother with them at all, really, and spend the development time elsewhere. I don't buy this whole AI issue, which they keep saying, but it's totally fine that they did do that. It's unfortunate, because I think Warhammer Sieges could have been amazing. And simple, you know? Oh, wow, it was brutal! I think Thrones has shown that, you can have simple battles, simple siege maps, but, these are the best siege maps in the entire series. And yet they are pretty simple, There's one outer wall, maybe two here and there. So let's take a look at the kills so far. I'm interested to see in this initial assault who's really taken the damage. So as we can see, the defenders have lost just coming up to 2,000 men now. They've got a little bit of a buffer till 2,000 men, but they've lost around about that. And similarly with the attackers, they've lost just over 2,000 men. So the kills are kind of, obviously in favor of the defenders, much like they should be. As more and more men get thrown into the battlefield. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a big breach point. Yeah, right here, unless these axemen get here, and I think they're maybe on the way to reinforce this position, they could cause some serious damage, because what these Vikings can then do is go all the way around and then hit this shield wall in the back, freeing up these axemen to then break through them. I think that's exactly, this is exactly where these guys are being positioned. But I don't know if they're going to make it here in time. You can see they're rushing over. I think that if the attackers are smart enough, they can send one unit to engage this and the other one to come round, because they have now broken this position. We've got big engagements over at these gatehouses as well. Huge battlefields. The gates are still holding, but the fighting is extremely bloody and brutal. As more and more men come flying off of these siege towers, looking once again to break this position. Seems like a nice little win here by the defenders. And they are slowly grinding through them, right? If you look at the numbers right here of their men, you can see their numbers are a lot higher than, say, the defenders. They're starting to run out of men here. And that's going to push them back into the next layer. Luckily, the defenders can use this inner wall as like a position to basically hammer down in all of these streets. And exactly what I was saying happened. They managed to envelop them with axemen. And the axemen will be able just to cut these guys down in the back. There's going to be no hope for them whatsoever. They should also start to take this tower as well, which again is just going to reduce that damage coming in on them. Allow them to take their time a little bit more and continue to push in. There you go. The tower is now destroyed. That's one little bit of DPS else not coming in. And also more reinforcements coming over here as well to reinforce. So the attackers are definitely making progress right now inside the city. Oh, that's some brutal stuff. We're using a cinematic mod as well. That adds in more, I guess, kill animations and stuff, and it looks really, really good. As you can see, I'm sure you've noticed a few of these animations do feel very, very different and unique. So it's always nice to see them. Plenty more reinforcements as well, waiting for their time to come in. We've got some of these cool Eastern hunters as well there. Interesting masks. Going to provide some defense for the attackers. Just trying to rain down and give them a bit of covering fire almost. We actually have a nice cavalry charge here. They try and counter charge, but all their axemen are going to get slammed into by the heavy Albion cavalry. Albion cavalry? Yeah, Scottish cavalry coming in right there. Lots of arrow fire focusing these guys down. It's not a bad idea to do so because, yeah, if these guys are left alone, they'll do some crazy damage if they get a few more volleys. Also, look at that arrow volley right there going down. I'm not sure if you guys could see that, but it's very cool from a distance. They do manage to form a shield wall to repel the attackers. But even still, this cavalry is going to be very, very effective in melee combat. So again, we'll take another little look out of the overall battlefield, because we can zoom pretty close in. It seems like the attackers are making good progress here, and as you can see, the defenders are falling back slowly but surely. Over on this side, again, great progress being made. I mean, it seems like there's good progress all across the board. Besides, like here, it seems like over on this part of the battlefield, the defenders are holding strong. They've got 2 full units right here. Lots of archer fire coming. But I just say that, and then they did just break through there. Yeah, so it looks like the outer layer has very much been broken upon. With really only this right-hand side somewhat holding. We only got reinforcements here. This right-hand side is good, but everywhere else is looking to start to crumble. Numbers are running out. The archers have done some serious damage. And I feel like it's only a matter of time until this outer layer has been completely taken and the city burns. So what will probably happen once this outer layer has been taken, the defenders will probably fall mainly back to the inner city, and then it'll just be the attackers reinforcing and bringing their soldiers inside of the fortress itself. So whilst that's going on, I will just cut it out and triple speed it up so that you guys don't have to worry about that, and we can just get straight back into the action. But I am having some serious fun casting this battle. This feels like a proper grand scale battle. And I really don't want these siege maps to end, because I know we have a few left, but we don't have a ton left, so... Oh my god! That was insane, his arm just got sliced off. No one tell YouTube, please, because I don't want this video to get demonetized. Brutal. Yes, yes, yes. The attackers are breaking their way through the city defenses in all force. Especially if this unit decides to come around the back. I mean, they still have not killed these Eastern Mailed Axemen, which is pretty surprising. They are only tier 2. They are fighting some tier 3 Axemen right here. They put up a pretty good fight. When the cavalry came in to reinforce, they seem to regain their consciousness, and they're starting to put up a stronger, steadfast fight. Surprised we're not getting these axemen coming around just to help them out, clear up these these outer defenses. And here we go. We're getting a lot more of the crossbows being brought back inside of the city, or at least the city's inner walls. More archers being reinforced, and there's a pretty nice defense here. I think this unit is probably 3 units wide. They're going to have to defend. They can also defend this period back here as well, depending on where the attackers want to do. Now, what would be really cool, I don't think it's possible unless you make a breach point, but what would be really cool is if there was ways you could, destroy the walls from within the fortress or something. Once you've taken the outer walls, you could destroy them and bring in your own siege equipment. Because I think this is the one thing that is lacking that Medieval 2 has on top of these siege battles, is the ability to bring in siege equipment to siege the next layer of walls. So it'd be really cool to be able, or maybe even just being able to make makeshift ladders on the fly. Being able to, kind of just go up this part of the battlefield would be so nice, and make this inner wall siege battlefield a little bit more unique than just this huge choke point battle. I think that is definitely something that Medieval 2 does have over Thrones of Britannia when it comes to siege battles. And I guess in Three Kingdoms, we're not really going to have to worry about that too much, because units can simply just climb up walls. Like the old Shogun 2 style. So we're obviously gonna still see siege equipment, but you are gonna be able to just mount the offensive, like you can in Warhammer and Shogun. So we just have the last defenders on this outer layer, putting up a brave fight, trying to take down as many of the attackers as they can. And they've done a good job. Again, there is around about 2,000 man difference, so the defenders are taking down plenty of the enemy as they go down. And I assume the defenders still have a large amount of ammunition left as well. So it's not simply like they're going to run out of stuff, of ammunition to kill the enemy. So, it's similar, it's about the same amount. Again, we'll take another little glimpse out. We can really see that the attackers are basically completely broken through there. They've basically completely broken through here. And then kind of a last little fight up here. But again, they've completely broken through there now. So it's only these last kind of pockets of resistance. I mean, they're still fighting bravely. You cannot fault the Albion warriors. They're going to probably take down these last couple units of infantry. And they're keeping this tower alive, which is actually really important, surprisingly. Because the longer this tower stays alive, the better. Okay, I think this faction is Welsh. It looks like the Welsh armor. So I think the green faction is indeed Welsh. Yeah, that looks like the Welsh armor. So nice. It only took me 20 minutes to realise. Oh, that was brutal. Someone else just striking from the back. Come on. Bring him down. Oh, he's taken down with him. Yeah, nice. He's taking down one with him. But, I mean, there is no hope for him whatsoever. Can he take down another? That is the question. I mean, they are surrounding him. He's got his brethren over here as well. Yeah, there you go. He finally goes down. Not bad, though. Not bad. I mean, as I said, it seems like he's going to finish off these past couple units. So, the defenders definitely still putting up a great fight. But, I mean, there's a big clump of infantry right here who have broken through. And same over here as the general's actually being brought up as well. I mean, look at this as well. This Viking force did not take that many casualties in the battle. They're bringing up a lot more of their reinforcements now, flooding into the city. The Welsh are also coming in, bringing in their cavalry as well. Royal archers. I wonder, yeah, the Welsh cavalry is, they're longbows, so yeah, these are the Welsh. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, the cavalry's up here as well, probably going to come flying into the back of these black blades. And finishing them off.
An entire unit has perished.
Yeah, there you go, they're being killed now. His number probably going to drop extremely quickly. And then it's simply this last unit right here. The city as well is also going to be taking probably a pounding. It's already at -7% settlement damage. I'm sure that number will continue to increase. Because a lot of the units in Friends of Britannia do have that raiding trait, meaning that when they go past the city, they just automatically go off and set the city ablaze. It would be amazing as well if they could get these siege maps into Attila Total War. Because imagine these siege maps with Medieval Kingdoms or Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings units. Like, it'd be amazing. It really, really would. Are these archers going to shoot? Because if these... I'm not sure if the battle is now going to be just movement for the next 20 minutes or if there's actually going to be fighting. I guess we will stick along, and if there is... Because there's still action going on. But if it is a lull in the combat, obviously I will cut that out for you guys. So you don't have to just simply sit here. We only want the action. With the cavalry support now as well. The horns are blurring as well. Unfortunately, there are no reinforcements as well, at least for the defenders. Reinforcements for the attackers, though, coming into the fortress. They're going to be obviously looking to reinforce. It would have been nice as well to have like maybe a few ships landing as well to reinforce this assault. Definitely not a bad idea if you're the Vikings, because you could have landed these ships here to help out. It's a very, very open fortress of that. Yeah, you could definitely have been attacked on both sides. I think what we're going to see now as well is the defenders just coming up here, or the attackers even coming up here and just basically forming shield wall everywhere until everyone's in position. Because this will basically make them impenetrable to missile fire. I think this shield castle gives like 100% missile block. So they're simply just going to form in and basically reinforce. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and triple speed this bad boy. I will obviously bring it back to you if there's any action going on. There's a few arrow archers shooting off, though. This is kind of a waste of ammunition, though, because they're going to form shield castle very soon. I just imagine it's on fire at will right now. Yeah, they're going to form up and basically... I mean, they're still actually taking damage right now, so... A little bit of a miss micro on both players' parts, but obviously with a battle like this, with this many units, it's very hard to realize if you have every unit. I mean, realistically, this is probably not even a miss micro by the attackers. They're probably letting them waste their ammunition, and you can see they're quickly then realized and stopped. Because these units are not really going to do much in the battle, so... But anyway, yeah, I'll cut ahead until the next assault is raring to go, because it's going to be a good one. I mean, look at this right now. Whew, baby. Okay, guys, here we go. The initial assault has begun. There's been a little bit of skirmishing back and forth, but nothing worthy for us to come back. Just basically some units without ammunition being thrown into the fray. Alongside that, just more weaker units looking to kind of break up a few of the infantry units here and there. But the defenders are holding strong for now, you know, repelling these initial probes quite convincingly. We've also had basically this entire army, so if we take a look at the overall map actually, as you can see, both armies have moved around to these breach points. They've thrown in their weaker units first to tire out and maybe try and find a few gaps here and there. And now the more reinforcements are going to be brought up. But again, the lower quality infantry, we've got some of these tier 3 archers who don't have any ammunition. Again, just looking to try and tire out the enemy defenders as much as they can. As these guys don't really have any place now that they've lost all their ammunition, even though they are looking like they're wielding some pretty nice swords there, so I'm sure these guys aren't going to be awful. As well as that, the settlement has been destroyed 27%. I don't know, again, what supply is. I maybe missed it in the comments below, but yeah, literally nothing here says supply anywhere. So I assume it's maybe something to do with the campaign, and it's just like kind of like left over in battles as well. But losing team melee attack definitely can add up. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Especially, it's much more important for like the lower tier infantry for sure. Again, it's not like these archers are really going to achieve much here. They're going to try, but yeah, the archers are going to be more just cannon fodder rather than anything else. And same over on this side as well. It's not like the Vikings have really thrown in that much high quality infantry. Just, again, more spears. As well as his axe infantry as well. Seems like we have a bunch of archers over on this right-hand side, which is not a bad position for them. They're kind of like pushed up on this wave right now. They've got a pretty good volley. They're shooting the Vikings in the back over there. So definitely can't complain about that. Hitting these guys in the rear is a pretty good position. But again, the Vikings are using their men, the attacking Vikings, I should say, are using their weaker men first. So the fact that these guys are getting kills, it also means that they're running out of ammunition. Take a look at the bands of power. There are only 3,000 defenders left, but there are also only 5,000 attackers. So again, that 2,000 man difference is really coming in big. A lot of the city has also been burnt down. There's a few buildings still standing, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And that's why I really wish there was an ability, or at least maybe a special unit that you could just right-click and, you know, burn these buildings as if you were shooting artillery at them. I think that'd be a really, really useful tool. And the archers are also being brought up here because they've basically got complete dominance of this outer ring of the city itself. It's not a bad idea at all to bring your archers and use them just to sit here and volley in on any of the defenders that come around here, because they can use the archers to, you know, if they position them like here, they can use them to hit there. But also the attackers are not dumb. The defenders, sorry, are not dumb. They're going to be using their own archers and trying to counter fire as well. So if they want to try and, you know, hide behind that house, they're going to have to also take some damage from missiles. But also, that's probably pretty good, because then it means the defenders are using their own ammunition. Instead of killing infantry, they're killing archers. And the archers, you know, are important, but they're not massive. Some cavalry coming around as well. It seems like there was a unit of war dogs right here looking to cause some havoc, but now they are dead. Cavalry's going to come in. I can't imagine they'll do very well. Yeah, they're going to get repelled by the shield wall and sent packing. Yeah, the cavalry can't really do much until a gap has been created. And I'm sure the defenders have plenty of infantry left to throw into this battle. Yeah, they have loads. Nice positioning here by the Javelins. They're going to be able to do some serious damage. I mean, there's no really like elevated ground. It'd be nicer if they were shooting like directly down on the enemy. But getting these volleys off, you know, they just go overhead and they still do some good damage back here. Going to be hitting a few men. God, imagine if you were this dude right here. You're just minding your own business, fighting for your life, and then your own javelinman just hooks you in the back. I would not be happy. Does seem like though a lot more reinforcements are being thrown into this battle now. A lot more reinforcements are being thrown into this battle. Especially if we zoom in there, we can see that awesome looking shield wall right there. Very, very cool indeed. The defenders stand tall. But there's actually a gap. Oh, wow. This is a pretty big gap. If the attackers can see this, they can exploit this and throw forward a lot of infantry. Obviously, it's extremely hard to notice something like that when you're playing a massive battle and you're microing like this. You're not really as zoomed in. But if they pay attention, they can easily go through this position right here. And same over here with some infantry. So I would not be surprised if we saw the attackers doing that. That'd be so good, because it seems like a lot of the defenders are falling back right here. Again, heavy, heavy fighting right here. Oh, that archer fire, though, from the position up on that wall right there. Wait, where is it? I don't think we can see it. It's like up there. Yeah, them archers, man, are having the time of their lives shooting into the backs of these Viking warriors. Seriously, really nice positioning right there. That's going to be getting a lot of kills. Yeah, you can see each volley is killing 5-6 dudes. Definitely softening up the attackers. And even if it doesn't kill them, it'll wound them, and then maybe an infantryman will be more likely to succeed at killing them afterwards. And again, they're doing exactly the same over here. So a great strategy from the players. They're going to use their archers as like a crossfire position right there. Now this would be a really good idea to, like, if they would have kept the ammunition, if they couldn't have made that initial breach, it would have been really nice for them to have artillery fire to then soften up these positions. And something I mentioned in, I think, a siege battle I did not so long ago, how amazing would it be is if you could destroy these buildings and then use infantry to march through them. That'd be so cool if that was implemented into sieges, you know, kind of like siege escalation type of stuff like they have in Battlefield, how the map changed, map evolution or whatever they called it. Like, how cool would it be if you just, you know, this is a massive choke point, but you burn this down, and when it does fully destroy, then you can march infantry over the burning wreckage. Like, I think that'd just be really, really cool. These archers are running out of ammunition. Luckily, the Scots player still has a lot of crossbows left. He has, what, 2-3 units of crossbows? That's going to come in clutch, I think. But also, looking over here, it seems like the defenders are losing infantry at an alarming rate. I guess we do have these kite shield infantry. A lot more of this, like, medieval-esque sword infantry coming in. And it doesn't seem like these breach points have really been addressed. Oh, here we go, bro. Here we go, saying that we actually have a unit of tier 3 infantry in marching column, looking to basically probably just pull through this position and envelop them. They're trying to break forward. They just need to, like, double-click their way through, because the defenders just don't have any infantry here to really stop them. They'll obviously be taking casualties. There we go! Another unit of reinforcements coming in to fill in this gap. I mean, they should really try and look to use this as well. This would be so nice to come around, because even just if you hurt the morale, you can see the infantry defending this position are absolutely exhausted. More archers over here. Yeah, these crossbows really just start being used. They have plenty of ammunition left. The defenders are holding for now, but, you know, how much longer? Because they don't really have a lot more over here. Yeah, they don't really have, unless they commit more infantry. This line right here is becoming extremely thin again. You know, and then that's kind of the point where more soldiers can start pulling through, coming around the sides and assaulting, breaking forward through positions. I mean, it seems like there's just so many attackers left. The defenders are really up against it. However, they've managed to close the distance quite nicely in this final assault, I assume, with all the ammunition. The difference in men are only 1,000 now, whereas before it was 2,000. So the defenders have done a great job. However, I will probably mention that the attackers are probably saving their best units till last, right? They have that initial 25% more funds, meaning that they can kind of spend, you know, they can splash out a few more of these elite tier 3 spear infantrymen. A lot of these Eastern Huskles as well can be, you know, kept towards the end and brought in. These crossbows, though, are going to be clutch for sure. All of these archers are about to run out of ammunition, though, and that's not going to be good for them. They are also committing their generals, so it seems like the Welsh faction has fully committed his army now. I mean, he's going to break through this, that's kind of a certainty. But the fact that he's had to commit everything is pretty decent. Because that's probably a tier 3 general as well they have. I mean, we even look. Yeah, tier 3 general, elite, royal bodyguard, silver experience on them. And we just take a look at them. Their melee attack or melee skill is 55. Their damage is 44. Melee defense is 85. They're good attack against infantry. It's a really, really solid unit. Seems like there's been a bit of respite right here. This is amazing for these spearmen. If they can get their energy back, which it seems like they have, yeah, and reform up their shield castle, that's pretty decent. But we do also have some Huskles here as well. Just finally going to break through. So he's done the same animation like 6 times and dodged. No, you're going to dodge again? Yeah, I mean, he's getting good at them dodges, right? Pushed him back. Is that guy on the left we're still looking at? God, this dude, he's just doing this one animation constantly. But it's working for him because he's dodging every single time. Oh, there we go. Swing. Here, ba, 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 here, ba, ba, swing. Hard fighting indeed. How about on the other side again? We'll take a look at this. So, the archers have basically used up all their ammunition here. Oh, a spear unit's broken right there. I mean, it's just these crossbows. I find it very hard to, like, these crossbows are to be doing so much damage. Look, I mean, look at that. It's going to be very hard to break forward, but it's not like, oh yeah, you can see a lot of the missiles, the javelins looking to kill these crossbows. I think that's completely worth it. To kill these guys with your javelins, you know, they're going to be doing so much damage. Same over here as well. If I was them, I would simply just focus down these crossbows because the crossbows will be the end of you if you're not careful. How many men? The defenders have just, what, 2,000 men left. Attackers, 3,000. But something you have to keep in mind is, I guess for both sides, really, a lot of the men remaining are going to be missile units which have not been thrown into combat, you know? So, I mean, for example, right here, the Welsh have 5 units of 80 men. That's 400 soldiers. Quick maths right there, just here. Just waiting around, not doing anything. You know, that's a big difference when you look at the total amount of men still left remaining. To have here 400 of your soldiers basically just be like peasants. I really want to see someone break, like, if this cavalry just break through this gap and surround these guys. They can finish them off so quickly and open their way into the inner layer. Do we have barricades? No, we don't have barricades. For a second, I thought we might have barricaded ourselves in, but no. And I mean, honestly, what needs to happen, really, like what I would do if I was attacking on this side and I'm breaking forward, I'd use all my cavalry, I'd rush them down this point and try and kill these crossbows. Or at least try and kill, because there's so many missiles right here, just not really doing much, you know, just waiting around. So if I was the Welsh, I'd quickly try break forward and then silence this. But we do have some more infantry being brought up. I mean, ideally, yeah, it's a good job here. Ideally, the Welsh just need to come in and break this before the reinforcements come up. Because there's gaps they can use their cavalry very effectively. They can't let them form up, because I think they're going to try and form up across here. They can't let them do that. But it's obviously hard to break through this infantry line when, you know, both sides are so exhausted. They just need like a good cavalry charge or a missile volley or something. I mean, there's definitely a lot of space. But there's also not a lot of infantry either, you know.
Overrun the walls!
Overrun the walls indeed. Both sides are under so much pressure, and it looks like again the defenders are holding. Tooth and nail right now. More reinforcements being thrown in. What do we have this time? We have some, what, tier 3 spearmen. Tier 3? Tier 2 spearmen. Some Eastern spear warriors now being brought into the fray. Oh, them crossbows, though, are going to be such a big, you know, part of this battle. That's what I'm saying. If you get some cavalry through here. The Welsh used to have 2 units of horses. I guess they're being very cautious. They don't want to get them caught and killed. And there's also a unit of cavalry as well here. The General's bodyguard for the Scottish. But if they could just kill these guys. Oh, it looks like they're retreating them back. And this is not necessarily a bad idea. Bringing these crossbows back is going to obviously prevent happening what I said was going to happen with this cavalry coming in. So falling back is definitely not a bad idea. You get to keep your ammunition and your units alive. The horn sounds to retreat. Still, the defenders are closing the gap. Kind of, it was 900 a second ago almost. Now it's down to 1,000 again. I mean, both sides are really just going back and forth. I honestly do not know who's going to win this battle. I really, really don't. Cavalry vote for the North. That's pretty big, actually, that they have this much cavalry left. It'd be not a bad idea to send it right here, because there's so many archers here. But I think because the line is just so thin, they're just going to try and break forward. Yeah, I mean, look at that. There's like no healthy units whatsoever. I think the cavalry is just literally going to just pile through here. Look at the bodies as well. Yeah, it's going to break forward, and I assume the same over here. Yeah, the Welsh are now flying into the final layer of the city as the defenders fall back to this last position right here. So what I want to do, whilst this battle is continuing on, we'll actually go ahead and just double speed it so that the units can get into position a little bit more. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the outer ring of, you know, where we had the initial battle. Just zoom round it, taking a look at the bodies, the heavy engagements. I always love to do this as well, because you get to really see where the major points of contention were. I mean, look at this as well. The gatehouses, oh my god. Imagine being a soldier down there having to break your way through that gate. Would not have been a nice thing. Oh, we also actually have some burning cities as well. Interesting. What is the Yeah, settlement damage is at 30 right now, so it's -2 melee skill, not massive, but you know, it does add up. And yeah, this was a very, very brutal part of the battlefield. Each one of these ladders being fought over tooth and nail. And obviously we have this position right here. And then of course, the final one over here as well, the crossbows. The crossbows probably did so much damage. And this is actually still being fought over right now as cavalry comes in. So cool, what I'll do is I'll skip ahead until this battle kicks off, until the first engagements do go in. These have been burnt and the infantry are charging in. I went ahead and skipped out a few of these archers who charged in because I didn't think that'd be too exciting to watch. But as you can see, the Welsh are kind of being the initial force whilst the Vikings sit back. And I don't think this is a bad idea because the Welsh are extremely battered. So they're simply being thrown in to kind of absorb a lot of this crossbow ammunition. And then the Vikings are going to come in and hopefully be the ones to clear this up. And as the more and more of the city gets destroyed, you can see that melee skill debuff has gone up to -3. As the Welsh general throws himself in against the enemy berserkers. Yeah, I think there's enemy berserkers and huskers. So a lot of elite units still left remaining as well for... That's very cool as well. Very, very hard fought. Plenty of really cool battles to be had. Cavalry coming in as well. It's going to be a great unit to go to kind of shock away against the Axemen. Yeah, the cavalry being thrown in. I think the Norse still had like 3 units of cavalry left remaining. But I don't think the Welsh really have a lot of fight left in them. They have a couple units of like elite infantry. And this is what I'm saying. How awesome would it be if you could burn down this section? It would take like 3 or 4 minutes to burn down. But once the city gets destroyed, you can just run through the gaps and create your own paths in these siege battles. You know, obviously that would only work for houses like this if you came up against like the Roman houses and stuff that are still left around there, which are made of stone. Obviously they wouldn't, you know, wouldn't burn that effectively. Does this guy then pick up his sword and shield again? Because he gets disarmed by the other... Oh no, okay, he gets killed, okay. I was going to say, because he gets disarmed and then I wasn't sure what would really go down there. I also honestly don't know who's going to win this battle. Like, the defenders have some pretty solid infantry left, and they also have ammunition on their crossbows. 4 units of crossbows left remaining, and some javelins. Whereas the attackers still have a couple javelins left, 2 javelins, but... And they just mainly have a lot of cavalry, so as I said, I honestly don't know who's going to win this battle. There's only a handful of men left between both sides, you know, 700. It's been cut down even more, so... I mean, this Norse general is going to be massive. Tier 3 elite sword infantry. Yeah, they're going to do some crazy-ass damage. But it's not like the javelins can really do much. I mean, maybe the javelins would be better off killing the crossbows. Or killing the other javelins. I mean, these javelins are killing them, right? There's going to be returning volleys. It's not a bad idea, especially for the defenders. Reducing the amount of ammunition that can come in. It's going to be pretty big. More Vikings being sent back to the abyss. More reinforcements being brought up as well. Yeah, the Vikings have completely secured this area. The defensive Vikings have completely secured this area once again. Be able to form their shield wall once more.
No one gets out alive!
No one gets out alive, literally. This is a fight to the death. There is no escape. No retreat. I honestly though think that they might have a very good chance of winning this battle in the defense, you know. These shield walls are... Oh, wow. Imagine that just being... You're like fighting for your life. There's a chance that you may win this battle and then your own javelin just pierces you in the back of the head through the eye. It's not something you want to see every morning, is it? They retreat back in cowardice. The spear wall does reform now as well. Pullo back in formation, please. I mean, I say that, he's taken out a few of these dudes already, so can't complain too much. Cavalry going to come in for another assault, but luckily this cavalry is just going to simply be repelled. They can't charge these shield walls, otherwise they will just be sent back. But I mean, also the cavalry will do half decent. Oh, what general? The Welsh? Yeah, the Welsh general I think has been slain now. And that's basically going to be it for the Welsh army. We have a couple units of infantry and some cavalry, but Cavalry just can't be really used in this tight space. You know, the defenders have obviously really turtled up right now, doing all they can to force this into like a stalemate. -3 melee skill still, unfortunately.
The troops are rallying.
It's a full-out brawl in the city centre. Gonna go down to the wire. Again, there's 500-man difference in this battle. That is nothing. That really is not a lot. But again, as we said previously, I mean, to be fair, there's not even that many crossbows here. You know, 50 or like 50 with these two. And another 50 there. There's only like 150 out of that difference. And there's also a lot of cavalry over on the other side. So, I don't know. I feel like the defenders are going to have this battle. The defense, I think, is just going to hold. It's just going to wear them down. But then again, that attacking Viking general is going to be doing so much damage. Like, he's going to do some serious damage. But there's also a lot of spears left for the Vikings, the attacking Vikings. Sorry, there's Vikings on either side, so I need to keep on clarifying that. These javelins could be really useful to come in now. Maybe hit some of these crossbows. I imagine the crossbows are having a hard time shooting as well. That's the Welsh completely broken apart now. But, you know, a lot of these soldiers are, you know, being thrown in javelins, and I honestly do not know who's going to win this battle in the last 10 minutes. It's simply just going to be a fight to the end on both sides. I mean, whatever side does win, their army is going to be completely crushed into oblivion. More of the building being destroyed. Unfortunately, though, getting the extra -4 melee skill would be so nice. Because if we take a look at something like this, you know, the crossbowmen don't really have a lot of melee attack to begin with. They only have 10 melee attack. So if you could reduce that by like 4 or 5, that adds up, you know, and it just means that kind of in these battles which go down to the wire, this extra settlement damage is really big. You know, imagine if you just sent one raider unit to burn all of this, and the enemy's forces have like minus something, you know, -10 melee skill. Basically means that these crossbows will literally do no damage at all. The Vikings, though, are finding gaps, and again, there's a big hole right here that the attackers could easily exploit, maybe with their cavalry. Their general is being brought up, but then crossbows are immediately trained on him to try and wound him down. Yeah, taking on a couple of these guys right away. I think he's going to make his way all the way around and reinforce this section of the battlefield. Them crossbows, though, immediately going in there. And same over here. These javelins going to look to probably try and take out this general before he forms Shield Castle. Yeah, it's exactly that. Oh no, actually the javelins are going to go kill the crossbows. Again, not a poor choice. These crossbows still have plenty of ammunition left, so every one of these guys you kill, the better. Really. Still a 500-man difference. They just need to get some way into the city. Like, they have no way of using their cavalry right now. There are no walls to overrun. That's what I'm saying. It'd be so cool if, like, by destroying this, you could then bring infantry in, you know, just create a small path that could be easily defended. But just, you know, being able to then bring in infantry to then, or cavalry or something, just to come into the city. I think that'd add so much to sieges, you know. Being able to create, you know, only a handful of paths. But being able to create a few more paths, you know, opening up siege positions, I personally think would be pretty goddamn cool. Oh, a slice right down the middle right there. And that guy is just like, Father, forgive me, for I have sinned. I am off to Valhalla. More javelins as well. Seems like the javelins are basically throwing their last couple, at least this unit is. This unit still has a handful more. Don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to win this battle. It seems like the defenders are running out of men extremely quickly. But so are the attackers.
We've broken their spirit.
Either side could have this battle. Javelins being brought around this side. Again, I think to kill these crossbows. The Viking general is also in. And seems to be on both sides.
Bring down those walls.
Oh, them volleys though from the crossbows. They know exactly what they need to shoot at. This unit is down. This unit has only lost, what, 3 men? So not really a lot, but I imagine their HP has been dwindled down. They're going to immediately form, what, shield castle. There you go. Put themselves some missiles. The Vikings are cheering as well as they've managed to win back. As another unit gets thrown in to the fight. The cavalry trying to find its way through the gaps, trying to pull their way through, hit these javelins. But also there's a unit of dismounted horsemen right here. Yeah, this will be big if the Welsh can get their cavalry through onto these crossbows and these javelins, and that's going to be pretty big. But they're immediately going to be assaulted right there. I honestly just do not know who is going to claim victory in this battle. I think all of this cavalry is now going to make its big push. Yeah, all the cavalry is coming in, because if they can get into the back of this infantry, then it's over.
Incoming charge.
So we're seeing one big assault now pulling off. Everyone is charging in, but javelins are coming round. Yeah, the cavalry is, I imagine, going to come through this gap right here, which is really, really thin, even though the reinforcements have obviously helped out. The Viking general as well, the javelins coming in, cavalry assaulting these dudes whilst the javelins throw away. I think the attackers might clutch this one, but now the kills are down to 400 men. That cavalry holding its horses once again, literally. What a perfect pun. These raiders picked the wrong targets. Great accent there. The cavalry, I know, because of this sword infantry, yeah. I honestly do not know who is going to win this battle. I know I've said that multiple times, but I really am so curious. Luckily, we only have to wait another 6 minutes to find out. Will the defenders hold? Will the attackers prove too much? I have also noticed as well, these Thrones of Britannia siege maps always seem to go down to the wire. And I don't know if it's down to my Discord just balancing these battles really well, or if they're just really well designed maps. And I think it's a bit of both, obviously. But I think the latter is definitely a big part of it. Again, I just can't say enough about how good these maps are. Imagine that. He's literally just like beating him down there. Underneath like so many bodies. Brutal stuff. That cavalry is still waiting to come in. I think it's just looking for any opportunity. Does seem like this side of the battlefield is looking pretty thin. There we go, another little charge here. This would be a perfect opportunity to use these javelins, because these sword infantry are no longer in shield castle. So these javelins can actually do some decent damage to them, because as you can see, their missile block, where is it? There's only 45 right now, so it's a perfect opportunity to use these javelins. And breaking shield castle there could be the undoing. Oh, there we go, more infantry coming forward, getting through onto the crossbows back there. I think that's going to be all she wrote for the defenders now. The infantry is broken forward this little gap right here. There's not enough defenders to keep them at bay. That cavalry still not yet moving, but as soon as it does, there's just nothing left. These javelins as well will be making quick work, along with a unit of really good Hearth Guard and also a unit of Eastern Huskars. The javelins are doing a bit of friendly fire here and there. Imagine if the javelin, oh my god, imagine if the javelins killed the owner Norse general, the attacking Norse general, and that routed everyone.
Kill the weaklings. An entire unit has perished.
Over on this side, more infantry being broken down, but oh, there we go, yeah, exactly. There we have it. The battle is over. Is hands down. There is no way there is anything left here for the defenders. They're making their last stand here, but surely it's only a matter of time until this big pile of cavalry, axes and spears come flying in. And they do need to kill the general of the defenders, which they are doing, letting this general fight an honourable death, I guess, as he gets committed over to this position. Everyone retreats back, though. Probably going to put up one, like, last stand, back to back, as everyone comes in. I mean, this battle was so close. It really was. It'd be nice if they added, like, a time constraint as well to these battles. That'd be really cool, I think. Because this is, what, like a 72-minute battle. So there's no, like, real urgency for the attackers. So that's what I'm just saying. It would be kind of nice if there was more of an urgency. And that kind of gives the defenders that kind of, like, get out of jail free card. But if they do manage to hold off for an hour or something, they do claim victory. You know, you don't necessarily have to play with the timer either. You can just do it yourselves. Would be kind of cool. So that way we don't know. You know, the battle could be 70 minutes, but when the siege assault, you know, starts, that would be cool. You know, then you guys start your own timer. So then we don't know if, you know, if it's a 60-minute battle, we know that the defenders obviously win because the timer is 60. But here the defenders did not win. They came very close to it. They managed to basically take the Viking attackers down to 560 men. So a very, 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 very close battle in the end. And that was an epic siege battle. I love just the scale of this outer siege wall, you know. But we really got the grand scale of a siege battle. The attackers coming in with a lot of forces. And that was a great battle. So hats off to all of the defenders. Doesn't look like we got to see the final kills, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. But oh well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification to always get notified whenever I post my videos. I want to give a massive shout out to the Discord for playing this battle and sending it in to me. If you guys want to be a part of these battles, join my Discord. The link will be down below in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.